mentioned on one of my other videos that we had a little bit of a trouble with this seal here to get it to seal properly. Now this one wasn't leaking, but this is the ideal time to replace the seal now, before we put the shaft in. And the same goes for the bottom in there. This seal here can be replaced before you put the all together, but this one wasn't leaking, so I'm really not going to touch it. All the rest of the box, steering box, seems good, apart from that bearing that's just fallen out, but everything else seemed good, so there's no reason to take it apart anymore. So I'm going to wash this out, make sure it's rinsed out properly, and then we're going to start to put it back together. So I cleaned up the box, a bit of wash out, put some more ATF in it, and I've put the shaft in with the bearings just as it came out. There's nothing changed. So just temporarily I'm going to put the end cover back on here just to hold that into place, and again we'll just put a little bit of ATF on those seals and put them back in the way that they came. Wait a minute, oh, push the shaft down, wait a minute, let's get that out there, that's better. They are a bit tricky to do. There we go, get that bearing, that's it, snapped into place there. You can see there we're just fastening that back up again. I'm not going to do it over tight. Because I think we need to have some tools to set up the preload on this bearing. That's what this is for, to move the bearings in and out to make this the right tightness, so it's not too tight and it's not too slack. To me that feels pretty good, but we'll see what it needs by the book. Alright, so the next thing is oh, wait a minute, while we're on at this, while it's in pieces, you must make sure that the interior of this bore is perfect. You see inside there, it's got to be no marks in there at all. And another thing that makes me wonder if this has actually been properly reconditioned is there's a lot of rust in this ring here. I'm a bit disappointed in that, but it looks okay. You know, the bore's good. I have no reason to think it's any other damage. I can't see anything. So that's in there. We'll see what we have to do next. The next stage of this is to set up the lock nut and thrust on this shaft. You know, set up the end float. And according to the book, we need a little wheel on the end of here. Now I use a little piece of old broken spline to go, drive shaft to go onto there. So what I'm thinking is that I might go back down to my machine shop man and get him to make me a disc about that diameter so I can weld it onto here. And looking at the picture, if we look at the picture like this, that wheel looks about the same diameter as here. So I'm going to measure this up and make a wheel the same. And what it says is you've got to turn it up, you've got to increase the figure of the torque, the end float. You've got to do 4 to 5 pounds, which is 1.8 to 2.2 kilos. At a 1.25 inch radius. Oh, that's handy. He's put that there. So that's 2.5 inch. So I just got to make a disc of 2.5 inch. I didn't read that before. And then you have to back it down to 2 to 3 pounds. So you turn it a few times and back it down. So I'm going to make one of those tomorrow. That shouldn't be too difficult to do. And then I'll weld that onto there. Cut this down, weld it on. So we've got a little reference so we can do it properly. I don't think it's going to leak again, but obviously it feels really, really nice. I've no worries there. So that's what I'm going to do tomorrow. I didn't go to my machine shop to get a piece made to make this, to set the tension on here. I actually knocked a bit of stuff up out of what I had in the workshop. So I had a bit of 2.5-inch tube, a big washer, and a piece of broken steering shaft, which is here, which goes on the spline, and it's not perfectly round, but it doesn't really matter because I was in a bit of a rush. And I got hold of a fishing scale balance here. So this is going to set up the poundage of the thrust, the preload on the bearings when I can splutter it out. So it says here, we're not going to use kilos because it's like 2.2. It says 4 pounds to 5 pounds. Alright, so what we've got here, we've got 1.5. That's no good. So I'll put a little windy handle so you can wind it back up again. So I'm going to put some preload on here by using this tool. Now I wish I had could find my other one. So I've given it about 1/4 of a turn, and let's see what difference that made. Ooh, that's 2 pounds. Let's see if we can do a bit more. About 3. Oh, I think the lock nut's tightened itself up. Just hold on a second. Where did that adjustable go? Oh, I see. This is really tricky on your own, but it's not possible. 4 pounds. It doesn't need much. It doesn't need much at all. Let's see if we can a bit more on there. Oh, I wish I could find that tool. Make my life so much easier. Darn. There, no, that's that there now. Let's have a look. Well, that's quite tight. That's nearly 7, so we'll back that off a bit. That move. Nope. I don't really like this method. It's not very good at all. So I'm going to make another tool. All right. So I quickly knocked up a little tool here, just made a hexagon out of a piece of steel and roughly welded it onto a bolt. It's not perfect because it's going to be thrown in the drawer for another couple of years, so it doesn't really matter. So I found also at the same time my old spring balance. Funny enough, it was just hanging up over there behind me. So the actual settings now is about 5. I just adjusted it a little tiny bit. So that's about 5 pounds. So that's to settle the bearings. So we're going to pull like that. That's going to settle the bearings nice. And then we'll wind it back using our little handle. Oops. Oh, that is tight. So we'll wind it back. It isn't very square, this thing. It doesn't, like I say, I'm not building an outhouse for the Pope. So now we're going to settle that back to about 2 pounds. So I'll put our little tool in and turn this gradually till it goes back down to 2 pounds. That's 3. Only a little slight bit. Doesn't need much. That's about 2 pounds. So then, once we've got 2 pounds, I'm going to get the punch and the hammer and tighten up that locking ring. There we go. Snip it down a bit. I know you're supposed to have a C-spanner on that, but this does just as well. So we're going to check that again. Yeah, that's not bad. Yeah, that's about £2. That's pretty good. So we're fairly satisfied that that's nice, and it feels really, really nice. So the next thing, so whoa, look at all our special Land Rover tools. Rubbish, don't they? But never mind, they work. I'm going to take this off, and then we're going to look through the book and see what you need next. Alright? So next up, it's asking us to fit this piston assembly. Now, you can see here I'm lubricating everything up. I find an old squeezy, one of these squeezy bottles, this was an Auto Glim bottle, I keep them just for using as like an oil can. They're absolutely brilliant. There's another top tip, and if you knock them over it doesn't really matter. So that's nicely lubed up. I'm going to pop this, it's saying pop this in here first. I don't think so, because I don't know how we're going to get the rack in, but so anyway, I've got a bolt in there. There, she's in. Now then, let's see. It says this bit is next. Now I've given that a clean. I've given it a clean off prior to doing this. Looks nice. What I'm going to do is put some tape on the end of this spline so it doesn't tear the seal. You're supposed to put the seal in first. A lot of people try to put these seals in situ, and it sort of doesn't really always work. To do it best, you take the shaft out, but it is a mess about. I'm just going to go and reach for some tape. So there we are, we're lubing up the shaft. I've put some tape around the end just to protect the seal, and now I'm going to try and fit this, and this is going to be kind of tricky. This is the tricky bit, because we've got to get that in. I'm not sure if this is the right way to do it. Because you've got to line 2 or 3 things up at once. Maybe it would have helped if I turned the page over a bit. It says you've got to put the piston in 2.5 inches in, so that's fully in, and then push the shaft in. This they call it the Selector Shaft. Push that in so the teeth engage. I don't know if you can see that there. It is bloody tricky to do, because you've got to not only line up the teeth in here, but you've got to try and get it on so it doesn't hit this bit here, you know, the worm. So that's in now. Yeah, it's working now. It's all on full lock to lock. So what I've got to do now is put the plunger back in, so that's nice and sound. Yeah, in fact we can do that now. We'll put a bit of ATF on there, a bit on here. Find the, there we go, paper towel, because it's all oily now. Everything's absolutely blathered in oil. And then we can put this on here. Alright, so that will push those teeth into gear. Now we're not setting it up yet, we're just pushing it in, so back it off a little bit, make sure that's nice and free. Alright, and the next thing, what's it saying? We've got to put the cover on. But before I put the cover on, I'm going to take that little bolt out that we used to guide in the piston, because if not, we could be into trouble. So the top for the piston, the top cover plate is going to go on next. I'm just going to inspect the seal. I think the seal's alright. Today I would like to make a tool to pressurise these boxes. and just test them out once and for all, see if they're okay. So I'm just going to fit this on lightly. It will only go in one place, alright? So what we've got to do is try and start that thread on. That's it, that's the place it has to go. We'll get it down to here, till it's in its happy space, and then we're going to put lashings of ATF on there, so that seal doesn't get pinched. We'll get the bolts. I'm going to clean these up and put Loctite on them later, but this is because obviously the guys who did it before, it wasn't very tight. I'm going to pull this through. So they're going to guide it on. I'm just going to get a key. Down a little bit so those bolts are starting to snug up, and then we're going to pull this through, if it will. No, it's too tight, I don't like that. Take these out again. It's not recommended you pull them down to the, pull the bolts down. I'm just using those as a guide really. And I want to see why that top is not going down properly. Ah, there you go. We'll just use that. Now, my little rubber hammer. Just tighten it. Tap that cover. Maybe this is too tight. Back that off a bit. It seems okay. This has to square up on the bearing as well in the top, so it has to, again, it's everything's got to do 2 or 3 jobs, so don't stress these bits, If you're in doubt, back it off, tap this through. I know why it won't tap through, because it's on a full lock. I've been playing around with it, haven't I? That's the reason why. Just wait a minute. Haha. Due to the positioning of the steering, the wheel will hit the casting. There, that's what we wanted. That's what we wanted. Hitting the casting inside. So we'll just move that up a bit. Put the key on. And then we'll pull this through here and get it on the bearing first. Yeah, look at that now. What a big difference. It is tricky to do, I must admit. I've done these years ago, but to be honest, I've had so many problems with bad shafts and bits, we can't quite get them right. I'm just going to go because somebody's here.